Hello, RD and coach friends. This is Tracy Brown. And are you having clients struggling with this? And I'm wondering how you're helping them unpack it. So here's the situation. Are you having clients who are in some kind of 12-step kind of groups, whether it's alcohol, drugs, maybe codependency, all kinds of things like that. And they love that model because most of the time it's in person, it's relatively accessible, and they build relationships, which is super important, as we all know, right? To healing whatever it is that we're struggling with, we heal in relationship. However, this time of year especially, what I'm noticing in some of my folks in one-on-one sessions and in groups is that, here they are with me doing some of this non-diet work and unpacking their stuff. So there's this this mix of like, gosh, we're getting deep here and we're making some progress, but I'm still not quite there yet to be just all out in diet culture and not be impacted by it. And I'm getting reminders of like what I'm trying to move away from every week in my groups. And so what do we do? And so I had if you're having people come to you with this dilemma, it's easy to want to say, well, kind of tell them to screw off in front of the group, but it's not always that simple. So my encouragement today is to do a couple of things. So one, help them really get out of some of the spin of the story of feeling triggered. Because this is typically what I notice happens is like they're in the group and they mostly love the group, but so-and-so's talking about this and so-and-so is talking about that, and I don't want to trigger them by saying, hey, you offend me or my recovery with diet stuff with your own body and food issues and trauma. And so there's this thing here. And so instead, we want to take a couple steps back and ask, basically what's good about the group and have them list all the pros. And then just really clearly identify like who's struggling. Is there anything more about that needs to be just said? And then you're kind of making this pro and con, just like we do with like desires to lose weight. It's like, well, what's the pro? What do you get out of this, and what's all the cons? And then having choice points. So same thing with this. And I just kind of want to share with you, like, I was working with somebody, and this is kind of an amalgam of some people, but essentially like there's more good than not good, and it's kind of on us to keep on building our resiliency to be in these situations. This is a more intimate situation where nobody's trying to cause harm. It's just that, most people haven't gotten more awake, and maybe your client has, and they're in these groups to get connection and have a safe, brave space. So ultimately what people often end up doing, so you want to just really identify all the moving parts, and then decide who or what is safe to share things maybe more intimately outside of the group so they understand where you're coming from, because sometimes that's going to be on you, and especially in some of these 12-step situations, because there's not always a very strong facilitator to be able to deal with differing interest and conflict, because most of the time in these groups it's like we're not going to do triggering things for anybody basically, and I'm not saying that's actually a pretty good strategy. So most of the time I think what's going to be most helpful for your client is to be able to kind of brainstorm and even role play through what they want to say to like each specific person, and really have that kind of one-on-one conversation to clear the air, feel seen and heard, allow them the space for their experience too. Like, so your client's allowing this other person their experience, and so at least they know where you're coming from, and you can share space with people maybe you disagree with. I think that's kind of pretty important in life, right? We all have to do that. And so those are my tips for people who are in not only diet trauma recovery and in 12-step groups, where especially this time of year, diet season, all of people's stuff is going to get kicked up around the not feeling enough and not feeling good enough. So thank you all of you who are here live watching. If you have any questions or comments about this, please let me know. I want you to add your experiences because I don't have every experience. and we're all here to help each other, help our clients have more productive, productive sessions with us, as well as just keep moving forward. So if you have any comments, please put them below. Please tag me. I'll be happy. I would love to converse with you. For those who are watching the replay, please tell me you're watching the replay, what you got out of this. It would be really helpful. And if you have any colleagues that they're not in this group yet, and this would be helpful for them, let them know about it as well. Share the link. I'd really appreciate that. All right. And lastly, real quick, so on January 11th, 2020 at 5 p.m., not 4 p.m., 5 p.m., I'm going to be doing my free Q&A about my somatic nutrition counseling skills training coming up in a couple weeks. And I just want I want you to bring any questions you have at the table, why you need it, how come it's important to you, what your questions and curiosities are about it. I'll talk to you about the content. I just want to put it all out there so you know exactly what you're getting and how it benefits you. We can know about pricing, whatever you want to talk about, but I'm here. I'm going to be here for that hour to talk about it. So if anybody needs something, please let me know. All right. I will see you on the next video, and bye for now.